Good afternoon and welcome. We thank you for joining us today at the Women's Resource 30th Anniversary Virtual Luncheon. I'm Linda Laurel, CEO of Laurel Media and host of Our Voices Matter podcast. I am thrilled to be your host once again. Today, we are celebrating 30 years of investing in and helping women and girls by providing them with the tools they need to become financially stable and self-sufficient. We have a wonderful event in store for you as we celebrate this milestone anniversary with a trip back through the past 30 years and an optimistic look toward the future. Many of you may be asking, where's Minerva? Well, although we will miss seeing our usual co-MC, Minerva Perez, during this rather unique year, we can't wait until we're able to gather again in person, which will hopefully be next year, right? Okay. So we have some wonderful news to share. Thanks to each of you, our incredible supporters, we have raised $217,000. And I'd like to take this opportunity to give special thanks to our presenting sponsor, TC Energy, as well as our gold sponsor, Wells Fargo. Your contributions to this event represent a significant investment in the future of women and girls in our community. I'd also like to share a special thank you to Paige Vogelsang, our Luncheon chair, and to all of the Luncheon host committee members, all of you who worked so very hard. Your tireless efforts and dedication have made this virtual event an incredible success. Now, before we get started, I want to let you know about today's raffle. It's one you definitely do not want to miss. We are so excited to announce that our raffle prize is a $5,000 Visa gift card. Wow! Don't forget to purchase your raffle ticket right there in the Instabuy section. Now, we're only selling 250 and the raffle closes today at 2 p.m. We'll announce the winner at 5 p.m. this afternoon. So watch your emails and be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter for our live announcement. Also, please use the hashtag TWR30years to engage with us during the event. We'd love to see pictures of all of your watch parties. And one final note, we also have some really terrific auction items available online. So please make your bids as soon as you can because it's going to close today at 2 p.m. And now it's time to get this party started. Please join me in welcoming the Executive Director of the Women's Resource, Christine Powell, and Board President, Yasmin Hubinger.
Thank you, Linda. Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Powell.
And I'm Yasmin Hubinger. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. Cheers.
Cheers to 30 years. 30 years ago, a group of strong, savvy women came together because they saw a real need in our community and decided to do something about it. The Women's Resource began with little more than a one-room office.
Some would have called it a closet.
Yes, absolutely. A $10,000 donation from Texas Executive Women and a feverish desire to make a difference for women and girls in our community.
We were founded on the belief that a woman who controls her finances controls her destiny. Before anyone else even recognized the need for these services, we were there, empowering and improving the lives of women and girls in our community.
Well, this is not how I envisioned us celebrating our 30th anniversary when we began planning the festivities a year ago. No doubt 2020 has thrown us all a curveball. In this unprecedented year, we've faced not only a global pandemic and record unemployment, but also racial disparities we can no longer ignore. And women have been hit especially hard through it all. Before the outbreak, 47% of Houston families were struggling to make ends meet. A recent study shows that now 63% of Houstonians are facing serious financial problems.
Our services are needed now like never before, but COVID-19 hasn't slowed us down one bit. After a quick pivot this spring, we've transitioned our classes and financial coaching and even our fundraising efforts online. We recently launched a beautiful new website, thewomensresource.org.
Yes, check it out if you haven't already. Even before the pandemic, the Women's Resource was going strong. Last year, we served more than 2,000 women and girls. Since expanding RISE from a one-semester program to a 4-year model in 2015, we have graduated 5 groups of 67 seniors. Our RISE graduates can boast a total of 247 acceptance letters, 55 scholarships awarded, and collectively, these young women have saved $65,000 towards supporting their future goals.
It's amazing. Last year, 112 women worked with our financial coaches to develop a plan to get out of debt, improve their credit score, and build savings. These courageous women embraced the process fearlessly, and what they were able to accomplish is nothing short of amazing. On average, they increased savings by $1,015, reduced debt by $1,671, and improved their credit score by 47 points.
And another 50 women enrolled in one of our 5 Your Life Possibility groups we hosted last year. Collectively, these 50 women saved $29,000, paid down debt by $33,000, and did it all in the span of 9 short weeks.
The Women's Resource operates by the same standards we teach our clients, to have an emergency fund in case of the unknown. So despite our humble beginnings, we are prepared to weather these uncertain economic times. We are beyond grateful to the early leadership who had the foresight to create an endowment fund for times like these.
So many generous sponsors have supported the Women's Resource over the past 30 years. We are grateful to them and so grateful for the continued support of TC Energy, this year's presenting sponsor. Please welcome board member, incoming Vice President of Finance, Burton Cole from TC Energy.
Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this year's virtual luncheon. On behalf of TC Energy's 8,000 employees, I want to congratulate the Women's Resource for achieving 30 years of service to the greater Houston community. The Women's Resource continues to impact the lives of countless women and young ladies in the Houston area, and today we are here to celebrate everyone who's contributed towards this success. This year, I signed up and am going through the education process to become a volunteer instructor for one of the Women's Resources programs titled Your Life Finance Classes. Having witnessed firsthand the education and support the programs provide to women and young ladies, my heart and mind settle on one word: inspiring. Our classes are filled with persons that possess a desire for change and to be guided to adopt healthier financial habits that will not only be shared with their families and friends, but more importantly, passed down to the next generation. Ultimately, this work is helping to build a stronger Houston community, and that is why TC Energy is proud to be a partner of the Women's Resource and presenting sponsor of this year's luncheon. At TC Energy, our passion encapsulates a belief to help build stronger communities by investing in organizations like the Women's Resource that are dedicated to educating the historically underserved segments of our community. Through these partnerships, we aim to diversify the future workforce and leadership of our country by increasing female representation in all industries. We are incredibly proud of the Women's Resource for achieving this 30-year milestone. We look forward to continuing our partnership in supporting women, young ladies, and the Houston community. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Zoya Ahmed, a junior in our RISE program from the Young Women's College Preparatory Academy.
I still remember the beginning of my 9th grade year. I was dreamless, goalless, unambitious, and broke. I found no inspiration to stride high in my life, and therefore always found myself lurking at the bottom. Now I'm in the first semester of 11th grade with a brighter and more optimistic mindset for my future. When I first began RISE, I didn't know it would help me acquire knowledge or gain advice to prepare for a more successful future. One of the first classes we had with our RISE facilitator was about money, how to earn money, save money, and use money. Before RISE, I had never gotten a job, so all the money I had was either from my parents or from my birthday. But after learning about various ways teenagers our age can obtain money, I started trying my hardest to find new ways to earn money myself. During this journey, I acquired a new hobby, photography. I started learning how to take high-grade pictures, edit the pictures I took, and use different softwares to advance the quality of my photos. Not too long after, I got my first job, taking pictures for a conference happening at Rice University. I used my money management skills that I learned from RISE to properly make use of the money, plus save some of it for the future. Not only did RISE teach me about financial subjects, but it also taught me how to set goals. During some of our first classes, we discussed SMART goals and their importance. SMART goals are a way to measure how realistic, successful, and practical our goals are. Following the class, I was determined to make some of my own SMART goals, because at the moment, I was quite lost in my path and wasn't enthusiastic about anything. So that night, I sat down, opened my journal, and wrote a list of SMART goals I wanted to achieve, along with a vision board and some inspirational quotes to inspire me further. For example, a good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and still a love of learning from Brad Henry. Overall, I'm glad that I got to join RISE, which has stimulated my eagerness for a more successful future again. I learned so many important lessons from learning about healthy and toxic relationships to job interviews and opening my first bank account. I hope all the new habits that I have learned stick with me as I grow up. I'm excited to see what I will learn through my future RISE classes. Thank you.
Wow, what a powerful and impactful story, Zoya. Speaking for everyone watching, we believe you are well on your way to a bright future. The strength and spirit in persons like Zoya are why TC Energy advocates for the women's resource. Now more than ever,